Hello, everyone. I'm Angie here with Sylvester.
Hello.
We are back to interview your candidates for this year's Miccosukee Tribal election. It's 2021, and this time we'll be speaking with candidates for all the council positions. Some of you may remember we did this before with the special election for the interim treasurer, and we are excited to be here again. Thank you all for listening. Let's get started. Today we have Tommy with us. Hi, Tommy.
Hello.
Will you introduce yourself and tell us which office you are running for?
Yeah. So, good evening. It's really good to be talking to you, Angie and Sylvester. And I know it's been said before, but this is a great thing that you guys are doing, and I'm really excited I can be a part of it. So, my name is Tommy Jesse Tiger. My family is Panther Clan and Wing Clan people, and I'm running for tribal secretary. And the color to vote for me is dark gray. Joe Chifket, Tommy Jesse Tiger, Mayan Anya Tadet, Kawadet, Mayan Public Chadet, Mayan Tribal Secretary Aik Chabanam, Shpeget, Shapak Padoche, Shanabasha.
Oh, Shanabish. You have chosen to run for office during what is one of the most important times in the history of the Miccosukee tribe. I am sure you, as well as the other candidates, understand what is at stake. In your own words, tell us why this election is so important.
So, this is really a historic moment for the tribe and actually just for the world at large. It's been a moment that demanded introspection and also action from our people. Right now, I think the tribe is in a period of transition with the impact of COVID on our people and our businesses, as well as our ongoing legal challenges against the U.S. government. This election is really going to determine what direction we want the tribe to move in. So I think that in some ways we've taken for granted the innovative and strong foundation that our ancestors, really like my grandparents' generation, had built for us. Over the past 18 months, COVID has shown how vulnerable we actually are. And it's spelled the end for a lot of businesses. And, we could have been one of those. But not to mention, the tribal community has faced enormous losses because of COVID, losses that have been and will continue to be felt for years to come. So it's been an eye-opener for all of us because the pandemic really magnified a lot of the issues that the tribe faces, both in terms of our vulnerability to the changing tides of the economy, but also to the steps that we can take to protect ourselves from future uncertainty. So we all really have to ask ourselves going forward, how are we going to adapt and innovate to protect and grow the tribe? Over the next 4 years, the Business Council will be making decisions that will impact the tribe for generations to come. And really, I think now is the time for both decision making and decisions that are going to be proactive instead of reactive. So we're going to need a Business Council that's going to be searching for opportunities for growth and not just waiting for them to fall into our laps. And to me, it's not about old versus new or young versus old, because everything that we have today is thanks to the sacrifice and the work of our elders and our ancestors. And everything we do moving forward should be in that same spirit. It should be with that same goal to protect what we have and who we are for the future. So I think we should really be doing things that are going to benefit everyone, young and old, for the tribe. And the election is going to be a watershed moment for us. Who do we want to be moving forward? That's what's at stake here.
Yeah. Everyone who is running for office has something that they feel they can contribute to the future of the tribe. Voters have a lot to think about leading up to voting day. Tell us why every eligible tribal member should vote and why they should cast their vote for you on election day.
So our tribe is unique in that each tribal member has equal decision-making power through the General Council. And I want to repeat that because it's very, very important. Our tribe is unique in that each tribal member has equal decision-making power. This separates us from most other tribes and even most governments in the world. Each member is equal, and that's something that we should be proud of. Attending General Council meetings is a right, and it's a privilege really. Mm-hmm. And I do wish more people would attend because those decisions that get made at General Council meetings, those affect all parts of our tribal life. whether that's distributions, whether that's the schooling, the business decisions, or even your housing.
Mm-hmm.
So voting for the business council is just another way that we as tribal members exercise our right within the tribe. And as tribal members, we're also tied and we're connected to the successes and the failures of the tribe as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the best things about being Miccosukee is that we're one people and we rise together or we can fall together as well. Of course, we always want to rise, and we have for the most part. We're all stakeholders in the continued success of our tribe, and the decisions that are made by the business council directly impact the day-to-day lives of the tribal members. And I really think that this past year has made that clearer than ever for a lot of people. So choosing to not vote and not participate in tribal elections is basically you let other people decide on things that can dramatically change your everyday life. So I decided to run for this open seat because I think I have a lot to offer the tribe. I was raised by my late dad, Tommy Tiger Jr., to believe that the tribe exists to serve us, the tribal members. And I take things like that to the heart. I care about the community really, and I want to make it better. And, you know, when we think about it, everyone's connected here too. We're all family or friends, and I can probably find a way to call every tribal member my cousin if I look hard enough, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think that as part of the business council, I could be bringing my ideas for the future of the tribe, my experience, dedication. I think the business council needs to be proactive and bring ideas to the general council. Ideas that are going to be bold, ahead of the curve. And I want the tribe to be leaders, like my grandfathers were, Raymond Tigertail and Tommy Tiger Sr. They helped us gain federal recognition. And really, I have ideas on how we can do things like that in the same spirit. Whether we're going to invest in green technology, ecotourism, creating space for our tribal youth, or even protecting our culture. And myself, I have experience. I have started my own business, successful business in the past, and I brought business to the tribe while hosting gaming tournaments, which included the first national tournament of its kind within South Florida. And I think the time I spent working at Little Trail as the director has given me a lot of insight into how the tribe works, and sometimes how it doesn't work as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of ideas that I would like to be able to share as we go further along this campaign in the future as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we look forward to hearing that. Each candidate has areas that they would like to prioritize and focus their attention to. Can you tell us what yours are?
Yeah, so I've been thinking a lot about three main areas, and I do feel like those areas are also the pillars really of our tribe. So that's culture, land, and business. When it comes to culture, I've been thinking about the sacrifices that our ancestors made. So we are one of the few tribes that still has its culture, traditions, our language intact still. And that didn't happen by chance, you know? We know what it took to get here. We know the stories that have been passed down. And we know the sacrifices that those who came before us had made. And sometimes those were the hardest decisions and choices that our people made just so they could protect our way of life. Today, we have to put that in, you know, I want to put it into, you know, our perspective. Today, our choices are nowhere near as hard as that.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, it's about putting in that effort to make these things happen. So with respect to culture, I think we need to protect what we have. A lot of people today are already doing things right now to protect and preserve it. So you have language classes that come up every now and then. You have sewing classes, and you also have great programs like the MCC by the village there,
Mm-hmm.
which those are, you know, great additions to the reservation. But I do think that the tribe as a whole, they need to do more. We need to support those programs and sometimes even give them space to work. And, you know, we definitely need to serve our elderlies and make sure they're provided for as well. You know, if I hear something from an elder, and I've had a couple people tell me there's something lacking sometimes, you know, I don't want to hear that,
Mm-hmm.
because we were told to, you know, respect the elders, and we gotta take care of them. That's what our job is today. And one day when we're the elders, we want the youth to do that for us as well. So we got to keep passing that down. But A big part of protecting the culture is going to come from the tribal youth. And I think they need a safe space to practice the culture. And really, Business Council can be more hands on with some of these things. We can see what's happening in the community, and they should be able to check and say, hey, we can help here, or we can support these kinds of programs. In my current job, I'm sorry, I'm not done yet. In my current job, I got to know some of the land holdings pretty well. So it's my second point. I've really come to value and see the untapped potential of the areas we have, and there's a lot of them in front of us. Mm-hmm. So whether we want to invest in green industries, or we want to go into ecotourism, or we just want to even preserve that land to pass that down for future generations, those are opportunities for us. And I think the tribe as a whole needs to explore them. And I feel, that a lot of our success is tied directly to the land. And, a focus on getting our ancestral lands back as time goes on, whether we buy them back, we find some kind of loopholes sometimes, mm-hmm. We need to take advantage of those things, and we need to get back, a lot of that area. And then the final point is our business. To me, it's a lifeblood in many ways, and we may not like or agree with some of the politics that money has, mm-hmm. but at the end of the day, I believe it's important. Financial independence gives us the power that we might not otherwise have, because it allows us to lobby the government, to litigate against the government when necessary, and to also help and provide for our own people. So maintaining that financial independence is really important. And I think we need to start taking steps to revitalize the existing businesses and enter new industries as well. And really, we need to be proactive. We can't just wait for these opportunities. We have to find them. There's a lot of untapped potential in the tribe, and I think we can better utilize it better. Mm-hmm. Antanabing, sorry.
No, that was great.
All right. Where would you like to see the tribe by the time the next election comes around?
So I do have a couple specific things that I would like to work towards if elected. First, I've talked about this with a couple tribal members, and really it's, I've got some background in it as well, because I experienced a lot of it. But I want to see a youth center, mm-hmm. a place where tribal youth can safely gather. They can practice the culture there. We set up, we can have culture day stuff, kind of like at the school did. And really we can offer extracurricular activities in a safe, inclusive space. And the reason why this comes to mind is because, like I said, I've talked about it, but I lived it too, Like, I wish there was an opportunity for something like that when I was growing up. Like, I grew up on the res, I went to MIS, and as soon as you're done with school, you went right home. Because, there was not really that space for, some of the kids to go. And really, that's kind of why we started doing TGO, which is Trail Gaming League, as a drug and alcohol-free space where we could just get together, we could play, and just do things without facing negative influence. Mm-hmm. And that didn't even start until I was older. I was already out of school at that point. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the people that I had grown up with, they went on a different path. And in some cases, there was people that we lost too. So I think that if we want to invest in the future, we have to prioritize the youth. We have to make that a priority. Mm-hmm. And what that means is that when you have a choice, do you want to put your money here or your money here? You got to say you want to put it into the youth. You have to put your money, basically put your money where your mouth is. That's what that is. And keeping them safe has to be our top priority. Mm-hmm. And offering them that space where they can practice the culture or play sports or even just be kids, that's something I feel like our community needs. And yeah, I'd also like to see the quality of life on the reservation improve. I think we need to get the community connected on better internet. And there are several options. The one that I really push for is Starlink, which is a satellite-based internet. Mm-hmm. It's got, it's more reliable than, some of the Viasat or the HughesNet, because I've dealt with both of them in the past, and they're not great. Mm-hmm. But Starlink's coming out later this year. And I believe also we need to consider green energy, whether that's going to be solar or wind or both, because we have the land for it. And that can potentially produce enough energy to even make us self-sufficient in some areas. So that's something I'd really like to start looking into. And the last thing I have is, I want to start work or even be done with a new concept for the former restaurant space. I think there's several ideas that we could go with. The main one I've been thinking a lot about is a multi-use space. So this would be a building where the community members, they could sell crafts, and we can sell food, and we can offer these eco tours through the airboats in the village. So really, I kind of want you to think about it like a food hall concept that offers more than just, a sit-down restaurant. So you have variety there.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to be able to target those people from the national park specifically.
Mm.
And the more traditional one that's is also franchising. That's an exciting opportunity as well. So the Dunkin' that we have right now at the Service Plaza, from what I can see, does very well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we can take that model and we can use it to attract people from the national park as well. You say something recognizable, you're going to go to it.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, we need to just gather ideas to present to General Council and move forward with something that will make use of space in a way that everyone can benefit from. And yeah, that's it for that one.
Okay. What do you feel is possible right now to help us get to that point?
So, right now, when you go around the reservation, there's one thing that you can't help but notice. And, a lot of people that I talked to, they brought it up. And it's that we're underutilizing a lot of the community spaces. So I think we start with those spaces, we can create that youth center. We can also work to improve the quality of life on the reservation by improving some of those spaces. So I've had discussions about that empty building there, and we've talked about it at the meetings, that, the 4-story one.
Mm-hmm.
And we really need to move forward in a way that is going to better our community. Whatever that decision may be, I think we kind of need to get onto it.
Mm-hmm.
Another example is the library. Right now, it's really underutilized, and I've had discussions about how it can be improved, both as a computer center and I believe as well as a digital archive. I think it could be really good in that way. And really, we don't want empty, underused buildings just dotting the reservation when the community sometimes is even looking for space to make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mentioned a lot of ideas so far, but I just want to go back to an earlier point and say that none of this is really possible without the support of the General Council. So when I see meetings with 25, 30 people, I feel like the tribe as a whole, it's not being well represented. So to make these things possible, or to really just move forward, we need more people involved. And when you get out to the meetings, that's going to be essential to our progress. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for speaking with us today.
Yes, thank you.
Now we will give you the opportunity to address your community.
Thank you guys again. So this is Tommy Jesse Tiger, and I'm running for secretary of the Miccosukee tribe. I want to help the people as much as I can. At the end of the day, when I'm going to be here for you. I'm running because I believe in our tribe and our people and our community. I'm running because I know that we need to improve our tribe and our community forward without abandoning the traditions and the legacy that our ancestors fought to protect and preserve. My allegiance, first and foremost, is going to be to the success and the progress of our tribe and our people. Every decision that I may face on that business council, it's going to be made with the best interests of the tribal members. At the end of the day, tribal council is not about personal enrichment or political power, because we serve on behalf of the General Council, the people, Yatade.
Mm.
I take that responsibility seriously. So if you have any questions or feedback, or you just want to talk to me about the tribe, I want to hear from you as well. So Shinabish, Angie, and Sylvester for doing this. It's things like this that's going to engage more tribal members and hopefully inspire people to attend the meetings, vote, or even in the future run for office. Thank you, and vote dark gray. Shipuk Feluche, Tommy Tiger for tribal secretary. Shinabish.
Thank you.
Shana Bajat.